1 in 6 people in Cuyahoga County is food insecure. Of those people, 34% are unable to get any assistance or aid. They fall through the cracks, and that's who we concentrate on helping. A lot of them work too many hours, don't fit all of the requirements needed to get food stamps and other help, and there's nowhere for them to turn except for their communities, and often a small, meager pantries put on by churches and schools in their neighborhoods. So we take the food that we rescue and we redistribute it to smaller pantries and meal programs that just don't get the assistance from the food bank or other major organizations.
I never met a lady so committed. From the very first time that I shared my interest, she took me in, she showed me the ropes, she introduced me to other people. She wakes up early in the morning doing recoveries. If she doesn't have any volunteers, she up really late doing deliveries.
For 3 years, Giovanna has worked so hard every day, continually, getting the group together, meeting monthly, getting the organizations together, trying to build the soup kitchens, trying to connect with more pantries, and there's so much food out there to recover, and she has done a fantastic job in establishing that through the organization.
My name is Giovanna Mingroni, and I'm a chef. I have been a chef for over 30 years professionally. I've seen food waste go from bad to worse. About 3 years ago, I was in San Francisco, and I was sitting at a cafe watching all the food that was going back on plates back to the kitchen, and I thought, well, that food needs to be thrown away, but I wonder what kind of food is in that restaurant that can be saved, because there are a lot of homeless, and I was eating out on the street that day. I can promise you, without a doubt, you know someone, if not several people, who are food insecure. Food insecurity affects the elderly who have to choose between food and medication. Students, no matter what school they're going to. There are people who have several jobs who still can't afford to feed their families, and that's because the cost of living is going up and wages are not. As those things continue to happen, as the middle class continues to shrink, there's more food insecurity. So it's not just the homeless that we're feeding, although we do feed a lot of homeless. It's our neighbor. Right here at Cleveland Roots, Stone Soup Cleveland feeds a lot of just our neighbors. By the time I got home from that trip, I had written a brief outline of Stone Soup Cleveland, a food rescue. I don't know where the idea came from, really. I just knew that there was a need and that maybe I was the person to help fix the problem. So that's what I did. Had on our schedule Elmira School, which is having a food pantry. They typically have food left over and no place to keep it. So every month, on the second Tuesday of the month, we go to Elmira and rescue food.
So we have 4,000 pounds of produce, fruits, vegetables, sometimes bread goods and pantry goods, and it's open and free to the community. So that being said, if we have a bunch of leftovers, we have this wonderful partnership with Soup CLE, and they are sort of the perfect missing link between us and other people that could benefit from this great resource. So they take leftovers from the market at the very end, and they take it to churches, soup kitchens, and the like. And so it's really addressing two big issues in our community, which is food waste and hunger, and they address both of those in the most logical way possible.
The mission of Stone Soup is to feed people. It's to feed people, it's to keep good food out of the landfills, and there's the sustainability side of that too, right? And it's terrible for the ozone, it's terrible for the earth. Everything we do, we try to stay very green. That should be part of everyone's mission. We just want to make food recovery and redistribution seamless and the best it can be.
Our board is a working board, so everybody who participates in our board also does food recovery, also does events. Another thing that's great about Stone Soup is we try to reduce our carbon footprint, So we don't rescue food from the west side and take it all the way to the east side. We do our best to find people in the local community and places in the local community where we can share that food.
And before we knew it, we were picking up food after food, week after week. After just the first year, it was 5,000 pounds of food we had picked up. Over a course of just 3 years so far already, we've picked up over 52,000 pounds of food just last year. So that's putting it close to 100,000 pounds of food that we picked up. And what an incredible opportunity for so many people.
We need volunteers. We need people who are passionate about helping fight hunger so that we can continue to get the right food to the right people at the right time would be helpful.